chaos let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show. Undiligent, both unafraid we stand, breaking silence we make our demand. With brass and strings, our anthem strong, to the chorus we wave the wrong. This is the Red Top Show. This is the ball, we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show. Tension in the air, with every heartbeat laid bare. Come surround us, suspense and fear. This is the truth of the world. This is the Red Top Show. Is the ball, we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. United, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show.
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows, we insist.
Call for light in shades of dark. We ignite the fire with every spark.
This is the Red Top Show.
This is the path we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show. Undiligent, both unafraid we stand, breaking silence we make our demand. With brass and strings, our anthem strong, to the chorus we wave the wrong. This is the Red Top Show. This is the ball, we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show. Tension in the air, with every heartbeat laid bare. Come surround us, suspense and fear. This is the truth of the world. This is the Red Top Show. Is the ball, we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. United, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Top Show.
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows, we insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Top Show. twisted. Voices rise from shadows. We insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk Show. In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows. We insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk Show. In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows. We insist.
All for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark.
This is the Red Talk Show.
This is the path we shall not hide. Questions burning as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Talk Show. Undiligent thoughts, unafraid we stand. Breaking silence, we make our demand. With brass and strings, our anthem strong. To the chorus, we went wrong. This is the Red Talk Show. This is your
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows. We insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk Show.
Where truth speaks louder than fear. We expose the real stories. In politics, health, the economy, and global crises. Raw, real, and without flinching. If you believe in truth, if you believe in giving a voice to the voiceless, like, share, hit subscribe. Together we make the truth impossible to silence. Where truth speaks louder than fear. We expose the real stories. In politics, health, the economy, and global crises. Raw, real, and without flinching. If you believe in truth, if you believe in giving a voice to the voiceless, like, share, hit subscribe. Together we make the truth impossible to silence. Where truth speaks loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Talk Show. Again, for those of you who just tuned in tonight for the very first time, my name is Dr. ENDY V. Paul, and it's a privilege, and I am very excited to come in live tonight on the Red Talk Show. So tonight's show is a very special show for those of you who probably just began to watch. Tonight, this show is not gonna be just like the regular show that my team and I we produce every night, but tonight's show, it's gonna be a show that might trouble your mind a lot. On that note, let's begin with the Red Talk Show tonight. Well, again, welcome back to the Red Talk Show. Tonight, we're talking about bombs on Christmas. When war interrupts worship. Please, if you just turn on, share, likes, and comments. The moment, the symbol, the shock. Tonight, I will not entertain you. Tonight, yes, tonight, I will not argue left versus right. Tonight, I will ask one question. A question that most people skipped because it happened on a day when we were told to smile. And a day that we were told is the birth of Jesus Christ. Yes, Christmas Day. Yes, on the Christmas Day, the interruptions. While children tore or unwrapping their gift, while mothers cleaned kitchens, while father nodded off on couches, American warplanes were already airborne. This is not metaphor. This is not poetry. This is policy. This is policy. Coordinates we entered, orders were confirmed, missiles were armed on Christmas Day. Yes, on Christmas Day. The discomfort, now listen carefully. The issue tonight is not whether terrorists exist. The issue is not whether nations have the right to defend themselves. The issue is timing. The issue is timing, because governments, especially powerful ones, do not choose dates accidentally. Our government, our current president, doesn't choose date accidentally. When a nation acts on Christmas, it is speaking in symbols. What happened? What happened? Let's talk about facts only. Let's talk about facts only right now. Here are the facts, not opinions. The United States conducted targeted airstrikes against ISIS-affiliated militants in northern Nigeria. The state justification retaliation for attacks and protection of Christian communities. The Pentagon call it precise. The administration call it necessary. No declaration of war, no congressional vote, no prime time address. Just action, just direct action. For those of you who just tuned in, I'm asking you to please like and share. Somebody have to hear that. Because silence, this is not what we need right now. Now, why Nigeria matters? Why? We have to understand Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation. It is deeply divided religiously, economically, and politically. Christian communities exist side by side, with Muslim communities often caught between militant groups and weak state protection. This is not a movie. This is not symbol. This is not good versus evil. The way cable news needs it to be, and the way that they're telling you the story, and that complexity is exactly why Christmas matters here. Why Christmas matters here. Christmas as a message. Christians represents birth vulnerability. A child placed in a feeding trough because there was no room. So when bombs fell on that day, we have to understand that the message is louder than the explosion. Although I myself doesn't believe Jesus was born on December 25th, but the politicians, the government, they call it December 25th, the birth of Jesus Christ. However, on that day, they are dropping bombs. They are dropping bombs on those called Christianity. And who are dropping the bombs? Those who call themselves Christians. While their house is decorated with Christmas light and Christmas trees, while they are sitting at the table, taking the dining on the dining table, eating with their families, they are dropping bombs on the other side. Tonight, I wanted you to understand clearly the message. It says power does not pose, empire does not rest, force does not kneel. And whether you support the strike or not, that message landed. Whether or not you support the strike, that message landed. Who was this for? Who was this for? Ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear friends and family, I want you to ask yourself honestly, was this message for ISIS? They already expect violence, right? Was it for Nigeria? They did not ask for symbolism. They did not expect it. Was it for America's allies or America's voters? Was this about protection or projection? I want 2 people that watching us right now. I need 3 people that watching us right now. Please share this podcast. Please share this Red Talk Show with 5 friends right now, because strength is not just what you do, is when you choose to do it. Let's do it together. Let's go ahead and do it together. So we're gonna take a commercial break, and right after the break we're gonna be back on the Red Talk Show with our second. We're gonna come back with our second segment right after the break. Please don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, and we will be right back after the break. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your dear friend, Dr. ENDY Paul.
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows, we insist.
All for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark.
This is the Red Talk Show.
This is the path we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos, let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Talk Show. Undiligent thoughts, unafraid we stand. Breaking silence, we make our demand. With brass and strings, our anthem strong. To the chorus, we wave the wrong. This is the Red Talk Show. This is the power we shall not hide.
a call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk Show,
where truth speaks louder than fear. We expose the real stories in politics, health, the economy, and global crisis. Raw, real, and without flinching. If you believe in truth, if you believe in giving a voice to the voiceless, like, share, hit subscribe. Together we make the truth impossible to silence. Where truth speaks loud.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Red Talk Show, and thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for turning on SSW TV, on Tele Anakaona, on TATV, and for those of you who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, welcome to the Red Talk Show. They call me Dr. ENDY V. Paul, and tonight we are talking about a very, very important topic: bombs on Christmas, when war interrupts worship. Tonight, I will not entertain you. Tonight, I will not argue. Right? I will not argue left versus right. But tonight, I am here to talk to you about the why. I am here to talk to you about the why and to help you understand what's going on. What's going on? America, the same nation that reads blessed are the peacemakers, also maintains the most lethal arsenal in human history. Yes, they did. That tension is not new. But Christmas forces us to see it. Christmas forces us to see it. When we come back, we talk about faith, power, and how religion becomes dangerous when it's carried by missiles. When we looking back, we ask ourselves these questions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just watching right now, if you're just tuning right now, I'm asking you to do us a big favor. Please like and share and send this message to someone who needs it now. Let's talk about it. Bombs and Christmas. Bombs on Christmas when war interrupts worship. When God is invoked by the state, when God invoked by the state, when God invoked by the state, so when God enters government language, because the most dangerous sentence in politics is not we are at war. It is God is on our side. When faith becomes policy, faith is personal. Faith is intimate. Faith belongs to conscience. But when faith becomes policy, when it is spoken by the state, it stops being spiritual and becomes strategic. Please like and share. My beloved friends, brothers, sisters, please like and share. The moment a government says we are defending Christians, it is no longer just fighting enemies. It is defining who counts. The language of holy war. The language of holy war. History has a name for wars where God is invoked. Crusades, holy wars, divine missions. Those wars never end well. Those wars never end well, because once war is baptized, there is no room for repentance. Only victory or annihilation. And tonight, I ask you plainly, when the state speaks in religion's terms, who gets absolution? Who gets absolutions? Let's look at Jesus versus empire. Let's look at that together. Let's be honest. Jesus never asked Caesar for permission. He never commanded armies. He never defended territory. Although he could, if he wanted to. However, he healed. He comforted power. He comforted power. He died unarmed while he couldn't fight with them. So when his name is used to justify airstrikes, that is not Christianity. I repeat, when his name used to justify airstrikes, that is not Christianity. That is empire wearing a cross. When you're looking with me, Africa, the invisible continent, let's look at it together. Why not? Africa does not trend in America unless it is on fire. Nigeria is not discussed until bombs fall from the sky. Its people remained invisible, their lives reduced to background noise. in Western moral debates. Yes, in Western moral debates. If this strike happened in Paris, London, or Rome, there would be world-to-world coverage. Yes, there would be world-to-world coverage. But Africa? Africa gets footnotes. Whose life matter in foreign policy? Yes. Whose lives matter in foreign policy? Let me say something. That's gonna be really uncomfortable. African suffering is often acceptable collateral in global power calculations. Not because Africans matter less, but because distance builds empathy. An empire depends on distance. Empire depends on distance. Which brings us to domestic signaling. Now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the audience that mattered most. Not militants, not diplomats, voters, not them. Not them. When leaders frame war as defense of Christianity, they are not speaking to the world. They are speaking to the base. And which base? They are speaking to their own base. Religions as reassurance. This language reassures a specific America. It say, we are strong, we are righteous, we are choosing, the choosing son, the choosing daughter. And the timing, Christmas was not accidental. It wrapped force and familiarity, violence and virtue. This is what happened. This is what exactly happening right now. His story teaches us this. When the state claims God, God becomes a hostage. And when faith is weaponized, truth is always the first casualty. Yes, the first casualty. When we come back, we will confront the cost, the human cost, and ask what kind of future this kind of power creates. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a break, and right after the break we'll be right back with the Red Talk Show. Please don't go nowhere. Stay with us. Bring your family on. If you have to go somewhere to just get a brothers and sisters or a family member to come close to the screen so you can watch this broadcast with them, that's fine. But just a minute, please be back, with your friends and your family. And if they not with you right now where you are, there's something you can do. Share the link with them and ask them to go ahead and check this out right now, because what you're about to hear, you don't want to miss it. I'll be right back.
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows, we insist.
All for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark.
This is the Red Talk Show.
This is the path we shall not hide. Questions burning, truth as our guide. Stand united, voice the unheard. In the chaos let wisdom be stirred. This is the Red Talk Show. To the thoughts unafraid we stand, breaking silence we make our demand. With brass and strings, our anthem strong, to the chorus we wave the wrong. This is the Red Talk This is the
voices rise from shadows, we insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk Show. Voices rise from shadows, we insist. A call for light in shades of dark. We ignite a fire with every spark. This is the Red Talk
Truth speaks louder than fear. We expose the real stories in politics, health, the economy, and global crises. Raw, real, and without flinching. If you believe in truth, if you believe in giving a voice to the voiceless, like, share, hit subscribe. Together we make the truth impossible to silence. Where truth speaks louder than fear.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Red Talk Show. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be on the air with you live on SSW TV, on Teleanakaona, on CATV, on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Tonight we are with you, and we are talking about something that is extremely important, a topic that all of us questions. What's going on in this world? What's going on in America? Bombs on Christmas, when war interrupts worship. Tonight, like I said earlier, I will not entertain you. Tonight, I will not argue. I'm not going to argue with you, left versus right. But one thing for sure, we're gonna talk about bombs on Christmas when war interrupts worship. The cost of holy power. So before I went to break, and I tell you that was what we're going to talk about, and here we are. Here we are, back on the air. And for those of you who just tuned in, welcome back. Our want, and our very first, we talk about show us the moment. In our second segment, we talk about to expose the language. Now comes the part no press release can sanitize. The cost. The human consequences. Every airstrike has a radius, not just physical, but moral. Inside that radius live people whose names will never be spoken on American television. Farmers, children, grandmothers. You will never see them on TV. You will never hear their name. Bombs do not discriminate by faith. They do not pause for prayer. And when the smoke clears, the survivors inherit silence, collateral damage, and denial. We call it collateral damage because language makes brutality easier to carry. But collateral damage means someone buried a child without ever knowing why America chose that morning. And that question, why, will never be answered by a briefing. The future was created. Every bomb creates memory. Memory becomes resentment. Resentment becomes recruitment. This is how wars outlive president. This is how wars outlived presidents. This is how violence becomes inheritance. Not because people hate America, but because they remember America. Moral erosion at home. And while destruction happens abroad, something erodes at home. Our sensitivity, our moral reflex, our ability to be disturbed. When war no longer shocks us, empire has already won. Media silence. Media silence. Let's talk about the silence. No emergency panels. No breaking news. Countdowns. Why? Because it happened on Christmas. People were distracted because outrage has a calendar. Silence is not ignorance. Silence is consent. The comfort of distance. Let's talk about the comfort of distance. Distance protects conscience. If it's far enough away, we don't feel responsible. But power erases distance. When a nation can strike anywhere, anytime, on any holiday, distance becomes a lie. Now, America so questioned. America so questioned. So tonight, the question is not, was the strike legal? The question is, who are we becoming? When faith justifies force and force replaces reflection. Empires don't collapse from attack. They collapse from certainty. They collapse from certainty. On Christmas Day, yes, as they call it, on Christmas Day, a child was born without armor, without borders, without violence. As they say, December 25th is the birth of Jesus Christ. Not me, I don't believe in that. I'm going with what they say, what they make us to believe. And yet, on that day, 2,000 years later, his name still stands at the center of a contradiction. Tonight, the Red Talk Show did not ask you to choose a side. we asked you to choose aroundness. Because peace does not begin with power. It begins with the courage to pause. Tonight, we confronted a truth too often ignored. War doesn't pause for holidays, and faith can be weaponized by power. Bombs on Christmas when war interrupts worship is more than a broadcast. A call to awareness. I did not entertain. I did not argue left versus right. I ask you to pause, reflect, and face the consequences of our choices, both at home and across the globe. Your voice matters. Share this, comment, and engage. Let's keep the conversation alive. Awareness is the first step forward change. Awareness is the first step forward for a real change. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us tonight. Thank you very much. And as I'm leaving the broadcast tonight, this is one thing I will tell you. Let us all remember that we are God's children. No matter where we come from, no matter the color of our skin, we are all God's children. I'm going to let you go tonight. But if there's one thing you need to remember, is this. I love you. And go love the world. You all. Thank you.
Children wake with laughter in their hands, but somewhere far a bomb commands. Angels weep where the fire reigns. Faith is drowned in war's cruel chains. Silent skies, burning night. Where did we lose our sight? Faith and power crossed in flame. Who will whisper mercy's name? Coordinates on a holiday. The world asleep, yet death will stay. Holy words in the hands of might. Peace abandoned in the darkest night. Tonight we pause. Tonight we see.
In a world where truth is twisted, voices rise from shadows, we insist.
Call for light in shades of dark. We need fights the fire with every spark.
This is the Red Talk Show.